So you're going to do your test review today, and then you're also going to go ahead and start your test and take your test. If you finish it today, that's fine. Tomorrow is a work day, so there is no real assignment. But if you're kind of lazy and you don't finish your test, you can have tomorrow to finish it as well. But if you're sitting in here, you should finish it before you walk out of here. It won't be that hard. Okay, it's a pretty simple test. So make sure that that gets done ASAP. But like I said, it's actually your assignment for today, like your homework assignment for today. So this is our Zoom, and then your homework or your quiz is actually your test, just like any other day. It's very short. It's 20 questions, and you'll have plenty of time to finish it. But it will stay open through tomorrow. So just make sure that you get it done before midnight tomorrow. So the very first part is just adding and subtracting like terms. So again, to find like terms, we find the same variable with the same power. So number one, your first like terms are 5n plus n. We just add the numbers. 5 plus 1 is 6. And what made them alike was n. So don't change the variable whatsoever. And then you have negative 6 plus negative 6, which is negative 12. And what made them alike was n cubed. And that's all you do. Okay, so find your like terms, add the numbers, leave the like part. Okay, so if we look at the next one, again, also it's going to be multiple choice. It doesn't matter what order it's in. So this one could also look like this. As long as you have a negative 12n cubed and a positive 6n, it doesn't matter what order that they come in, okay? On the next one, we have a 1 and a 7. But what we don't have is this, if you guys look, there's a minus between. We need to distribute that. So make sure that you change those signs. And I told you, all you're going to do is rewrite the first step and then make it a negative m squared and a negative 7. So change the signs. Okay. Add your like terms now. 1 minus 7 is negative 6. And then in the middle, negative 1 minus 1, negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. And m squared made them alike. So that's it. That's all you do. All right, look at your next one. It's also a minus, so we got to distribute that minus. Your 6b minus 7b cubed does not change. Your 7b cubed turns into a minus 7b cubed and a minus 8. Add your like terms. There's only one b term, so you just rewrite it. If you need to mark them out as you do them, that's fine as well. You have negative 7 minus 7, which is negative 14. And what made them alike was the b cubed. Again, you can mark them out when you're done with them. And the last thing that we have is a negative 8. Again, just adding like terms. Number 4 is also a minus. So we're going to distribute that minus to everything or change everything behind it. So leave 3p to the 4th and minus 6, but change everything else. A negative 5p cubed, a positive 6, and a positive 4p to the 4th. Once you change all the signs, find your like terms. 3p to the 4th plus 4p to the 4th. 3 plus 4 is 7, and what made them alike was p to the 4th. So they're done. We have a negative 6 plus 6. What happens when I add those together? It cancels out, or it gives you 0, and it doesn't matter, so you don't have to write them down. And then the last thing we have is a minus 5p cubed. That's it. And the only thing that changes is that they get a little bit bigger each time. Okay, so a little bit bigger each time. If it's a plus, just find your like terms. I'm going to start with 3n cubed. And there's a minus n cubed. So 3 minus 1 is 2n cubed, and I'm done with those. I have 4n to the 4th plus 8n to the 4th is 12, and n to the fourth is what made them alike. And then I'm done with those. And the only thing I have left is a minus 5. Guys, it is that simple. It's like you've been doing for, I think, a couple years now. Y'all been doing like terms, okay? Number 6, we're going to start with just a single b. So this is 1b and minus 5b. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. And what made them alike was that they were just one single b. We have 6b squared and 7b squared, which is 13b squared. And then the only thing we have left is 8b to the fourth. That's it, guys. Again, same thing on the next 3, and then the last one is a subtract. So we're just going to keep adding like terms, and the last one is a subtract. So a to the fourth plus a to the fourth, that makes 2a to the fourth, and we're done with those. We have a negative 8a, and there's no other term that's just a single a, so we just write it down. We have 3a cubed plus 6a cubed gives us 9a cubed. The last thing we have is negative 4a squared. All right. Same thing on number 8. We're going to start with 2k to the fourth, and we have 8k to the fourth, which gives us 10k to the fourth, and we're done with those. We have a negative 7k squared plus 7k squared gives us 0. So we just mark those out. We don't need them. And then the last thing we have is negative k cubed plus negative 6k cubed plus 3k cubed. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3k cubed. Any questions? All right, last 2. Number 9 is easy because it's all plus. Look for all your like terms. I have a 6x, a 4x, and another 6x. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 6 is 16, and the x made them alike. I have 2x to the fourth minus 1x to the fourth plus 8x to the fourth. So 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 8 is 9. X to the fourth made them alike. The only thing I have not used is the negative 3. And again, all the marking out does is to let you see that very last term or whatever, so you don't get it confused. All right, so on the last one, you see a bunch of minuses. Only change the stuff behind the minus. So your first set, you're going to leave alone, 4n minus 3n cubed. Everything else, you're going to change. So instead of a positive 7n cubed, you're going to change it to negative 7n cubed. Instead of plus 5n, minus 5n, plus 7n squared. Same thing on the last. I have a positive 2n cubed. I'm going to change it to negative 2n cubed. And I have a negative 7, and I'm going to change it to a positive. So just change the signs. Add your like terms. I have a 4n minus 5n. 4 minus 5 is negative 1n. Remember that the negative 1 won't show up. It'll just be a negative n. I have negative 3n cubed, negative 7n cubed, and a negative 2n cubed. So negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10, minus 2 is negative 12n cubed.
Miss Jones,
Yes.
the last 7 has an N.
Thank you. We'll fix it in just a minute. Thank you for telling me. Then we have a 7n squared that doesn't have anything alike. And then she just pointed out this was 7n. So I'm going to add it with my negative 1, which gives me a 6n. Thank you. So then my final is 6n minus 12n cubed plus 7n squared. And that's it. So adding and subtracting is very easy. Just make sure when you subtract, you distribute those negatives or change the signs. All right, flip it over. And you have a bunch of multiply. And remember, you can do that by distribution. You can do it by box method. You can do it by double distribution. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you like. So the first ones, the first three are strictly distributions. It will be the same way on your test. So you're going to distribute. You multiply your numbers. So 5 times 8 is 40. And then you tell me how many total A's are between those two terms. So there's 3 in the first one, 1 in the second one, which makes a total of 4. So 40A to the 4th. Do the same thing on the next one. 5 times 2 is 10. This one has A cubed. There's none in the other one. So a total of 3 A's. That's all you do. Okay. Same thing on the next one. We're going to distribute. 6 times 7x, 6 times 7 is 42, and there's only one x between them. 6 times 5 is 30, and there are no x's, so I don't put any x's on that. And again, it's multiple choice, so make sure you're checking it out. Make sure you're getting the right answer. On the next one, we're just going to distribute the 3. 3 times x squared, you just mush them together, 3x squared. 3 times 5 is 15, and they only have one x between them. 3 times 6 is 18, and there are no x's. All right. So on the rest of them, remember I showed you how to do box method. You can do double distribution if you want to, but I don't like it. You can, though. It's up to you. So this has 2 terms by 2 terms. The first one has a 2n and a negative 4, a 2n and a negative 2. Remember we talked about what meets in the boxes. So in the first box, we have 2n times 2n, which is for what? How many n's are in that box? 2, so 4n squared. The next one is 2n times negative 4. What's 2 times negative 4? Two times negative 4? Negative 8, and there's only one n in that box. And the next one, you're doing negative 2 times 2n. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, and there's only one n. Same thing in the last box, negative 2 times negative 4 gives us a positive 8. We add our diagonals. Our first diagonal is 4n squared. Our second diagonal, negative 4 plus negative 8 is negative 12, and it's just n's, making them like terms. And then we have a plus 8 in our last diagonal. And that is all you do. All right. Everybody okay? Next. Same thing. Draw my box. We have 8m and negative 5. M and negative 2. If you have to draw the lines and put the stuff in there, that's fine. If you don't, you don't have to. First box, we have 8m times m. That gives me 8m squared because there's 2 m's inside there. The next box, m and a negative 5. We just squish them together and get negative 5m. Negative 2 and 8m. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 16 and an m. The last box, -2 times -5 is a +10. Add your like terms. We have 8m squared in the first diagonal. -16 plus -5 is -21, and they have an m, and then a +10. And that's it. Okay. 5 more and we'll be done. Same thing on 16, box it. A 5p and a -8. A 2p and a -8. In the first box, 5p times 2p is 10p squared. In the next box, 2p and -8 gives you -16p. -8 and 5p gives you -40p. And then in the last box, -8 times -8 is a +64. Add your diagonals. We get 10p squared. -40 plus -16 is -56p. And our last diagonal is a 64. All right, I'm not going to do all 4 of these. I'm going to do 2 more and then we'll be done. You guys can do your test because I feel like it's the same thing over and over and over again, wasting your time. So look at 18. The only reason I want to do 18 is because they put the 2 terms behind the 3 terms. It doesn't matter. When you do the box, you can do it either way that you want to. I like to do it long ways like this so that the 2 goes on the side and the 3 goes down the front. So then 3a squared, 6a, and -7 goes on the top. And 3a minus 7 goes on the side. In the first box, we have 3a and 3a squared. 3 times 3 is 9, and there are 3 a's. We have 3a times 6a. 6 times 3 is 18, and there's 2 a's in the box. 3a times -7. 3 times -7 is -21, but there's only 1 a in the box. -7 times 3a squared. -7 times 3 is -21, and there's 2 a's. That's -21a squared. We have -7 and 6a. -7 times 6 is -42, and we have 1a. And then we have -7 times -7, which is 49. Add your diagonals just like always. They will be like terms. If they're not like terms, you did something wrong. Okay, so it's a good telltale. We have 9a cubed in the first one. -21 plus 18 is -3a squared. -42 plus -21 is -63a, and then we have a 49 in the last box. Any questions? Same exact thing on the next one. Last one. We're going to go to number 20. I'm not going to write everything in the box. We have 5r and -1 would go on the 2 side. 2r squared, r, and -5 goes along the top. 5 times 2 is 10, and there are 3 r's between them. 5 times 1 is 5, and there are 2 r's between them. 5 times -5 is -25, and there's 1 r. On the bottom, 2 times -1 is -2r squared. -1 times 1r is -1r or just -r. And then in the last box, -1 times -5 is +5. Add your diagonals. We get 10r cubed from the first diagonal. -2 plus 5 is 3, and r squared made them alike. -1 plus -25 is -26r. And then we have a 5 on the end. And we're done. Any questions so far? Is everybody good? Zoomers, do you have any questions? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, stop recording.